Well, good morning, folks. Welcome to Canberra, the Reserve Bank of Australia. I thought I'd just point that one out to you, right near the Canberra Law Courts. That's where we are right now. We're having a little bit of show of support for Paul Offie, the Freedom Truck driver. If you're in Canberra, come see us. We'd love to see you this morning. We'll be here for about half an hour, 45 minutes, and then we're heading off to the Governor-General's for the 3rd anniversary of the Canberra Standers, doing what they can to get the Governor-General to do the right thing. And so far, successive Governor-Generals have failed. But we keep trying to bring them into alignment, and can't thank the crew, the Canberra Standers, who have done 3 years of exceptional work. And here's a bunch of them out the front of the law courts right now. Now, the reason that we're here, Paul Offie was meant to be in a trial from February the 3rd, but it has been pushed a bit. What we want, though, is for the prosecutors to know that Paul isn't by himself. And as you can see here, we've got some pretty good sort of signs. Good morning, folks. And this is exactly what's happening to Paul. And I particularly like that one. The prosecutors must know, we know it's a malicious prosecution on just about every level. So thank you guys for coming out this morning. Oh, look, we couldn't bring the man himself, but we got his likeness. Thank you so much. So that's it. We'll see you here, if you can meet us here at the, well, there you go. The AFP stole this truck. It doesn't look that good anymore. No. It's still sitting in an AFP impound yard.
3 years with a broken window, and they want him not to claim damages.
Yeah, that's the thing. They're trying to manipulate him into not being able to claim damages for what they've done to him. And they're doing that, as they do, by manipulating the legal system. The lawyers here, in that building, right there, that is the DPP building, right? That is where all the prosecutors live. And particularly Rory and Co at Coca. Don't we love you? You asset thieving bastards. They are using the laws to steal your assets, to stop you being able to protect yourself. That's what's happened with Paul Offie. And we have the evidence to prove it. We are looking forward to this Supreme Court trial like you would not believe. The DPP are going to get their asses handed to them, and Coca as well, with a bit of luck. We need to expose the illegalities of what this combined two-pronged attack on Paul has been, and we need to point out to the people, and hopefully to the judiciary, just how unlawful they've acted, how maliciously they have acted, and to use the COCA laws, which is the confiscation laws against organised crime. So they're saying words like Paul Offie is a organised crime figure. That's how they've basically stolen his truck. Made him prove where he got it from. He's done all that. Made him prove that he owns it, and they still won't give it back. This is a 3 times brain-injured young man who was only trying to give himself a future in a truck which had a couple of movie roles and as a limousine driver doing special rides. That's all this kid wanted to do. He wasn't part of anything to do with the Aussie Cossack that day, although the Aussie Cossack does feature prominently in our videos. However, Paul was misled in various different ways, including by the AFP, and we have that as well. There is nothing that is going to help the DPP. They are already begging to change this and get it taken back out of the Supreme Court. They'll drop all sorts of charges to get it back to the Magistrates Court. And where I am personally in favour of taking this, as long as Paul can plead not guilty in the Magistrates Court and demand a jury trial, like all Magistrates Courts should have. But oh no, the DPP wouldn't like that, because this gets in front of a jury, there is no way in hell the DPP are going to win. Nobody, after viewing the evidence that we can provide, will believe anything the DPP has to say. So this little show of force today is just to say, hey, we're here, We know what you're doing to Paul. We know how long you've been doing it to Paul, and it's going to end. If the DPP were half smart, they would drop all the charges immediately and make a genuine settlement offer. But they have destroyed this young man, they've destroyed his livelihood, they've destroyed his future. All because of the greed of coca. And the trumped up charges, the malicious prosecutions that Paul has been subjected to. So we will keep doing this right up until we do get a court date. And when we do get a new court date, all of you can come and join us. We would like to see more than a few hundred here to help support Paul when he goes through this trial and tribulation. We'll let you know when that will be. As you found out last week with the talk with Michael, it's going to be put off a little bit, probably until June, because of some health issues with certain people and in the defence team, and of course the prosecution are madly trying to work their way out of this. So we'll give them a little bit more time, but really the only way they're going to get out of this is to drop all the charges and make a fair settlement offer for the damages that they've done to Paul's vehicle and the losses that he's incurred. Will they do that? Not on your Nelly. So we look forward to going to the courts and proving them wrong. All right, after this, folks, we are heading to the Governor-General's. So once we leave here, the plan, I believe, is to meet up at the Rock Garden, and then we will make our way to, well, whichever side of the lake it turns out to be. I'm not sure if it's going to be opposite the Governor-General's shouting across the lake, or if we are actually going to make our way to the front gate. I suspect the front gate, but it will depend on what bullshit they might have waiting for us. And at this stage, we don't expect anything, right? Unlike the White Rabbit. Now, the White Rabbit has come out recently and started saying, oh, the military are going to be there. The military are going to be there. She's backed off from talking to the corruption whistleblower people because, oh, the military might be there. I've heard the military are going to be there and they're going to break it all up. The White Rabbit has absolutely no understanding of Australian military then. The Australian military will not be on site breaking up the people. They don't have any authority to do that. So what she's talking about with the military is a made-up piece of bullshit, I will guarantee it. But you'll see for yourself in an hour and a half or so, there will be no military. There will be no threats or violence or carry-on. And for some reason or other, the White Rabbit seems to be white-anting. And I'd like to know why. So, Nicola, you've got my number. Give me a call. I'd really like to find out why you're white-anting this situation, why you've backpedaled, why you offered a lot of support and then fell away from it and now won't answer phone calls. What are you trying to do here? I believe you're now working for Gerard Rennick too, which I find most interesting. So the White Rabbit may have just put herself out of an argument. She's now politically, well, I'm not going to say controlled, but she's working for a bloke who definitely wants re-election, who has only just woken up to what many of us have been speaking about for the last 4 or 5 years, and now he thinks he's got it all. Well, I've not seen him support any of us. Has he come and supported you much? He won't even talk to me. He will talk to the White Rabbit, though. And she will parrot whatever he says. By the sound of it, oh, the military are coming. The military are coming. Fuck, the only way the military are coming is if there's a bloody parade at the Governor-General's. And if you knew anything about military, you'd know that. All right, I'm going to go and be part of the people here for the next quarter of an hour or so. We're going to leave here at about 8:30, 8:45, make our way to the Rock Garden. And from there, we will be at the Governor-General's for the 10 o'clock calling out. And, well, it's the first time I've been to the GG since we've had a new GG, so we may add a few new things to call out while we're there. Anyway, look forward to seeing you folks. I hope you have a lovely day today. It is a beautiful day in Canberra. I mean, have a look at that sky. Truly magnificent. And if you can, please support online or be here in person, even better. I know there's a lot of people coming for the 3rd anniversary today, and apologies from Guru and Mel. Unfortunately, a bit of sad news. Guru's mother passed away the other day, so he won't be here this weekend. They're sorting out funeral arrangements and getting all that sorted. So my condolences to Dave and his family. It's never easy when you lose your mum, even though she was 92 and like many of them at that age, are pretty ready to go, but it doesn't make it any easier. So my thoughts are with Dave and Mel and the family at the moment, and I know yours will be too. Unfortunately, Mel and Dave won't be here this weekend because of what's going on. So apologies to all and sundry for that. But they are here in spirit, and certainly have sent a few warriors down to help us. So yeah, we're looking forward to it. Yes, Stu, Rennick. Rennick now thinks he's one of us. Except he won't answer the phone to one of us. He won't talk to one of us. He doesn't understand, really, the arguments that any of us would make. But he has the White Rabbit now to help him sort that out. If you're a big follower of the White Rabbit, I would start really appraising what you're doing there, or what she's doing there. Because what she's done today is try and white ant the events of today and tomorrow. So there is a big event happening tomorrow too. Hopefully a lot of the people who turn up today will be staying for tomorrow. The corruption whistleblowers' grand jury indictments will be read out tomorrow. Now that's happening at Magna Carta Park, which is beside Old Parliament House, and it'll happen from midday. I will be back on the property this afternoon, and I will have Peter and Donna on for a bit of a chat to explain to you how the indictment process will work. And you will be able to download a number of documents, including the brief of evidence, from the VoF HQ website a little later on this morning. I think it's been emailed to Vince. I've just got to make sure he's awake and we can get it up. And hopefully he'll put this show up on Rumble as well, so we can get it across. So folks, yes, if you want to learn more about what's happening tomorrow with the corruption whistleblower grand jury indictments, then hang around. I'll do another little live later on from the Governor-General's. Then this afternoon I'll be back on the property. We'll sit down with Donna and Peter and actually go through the document, try and explain it to you. And if you want a copy of it of your own, then by then it should be up on our website at vofhq.com for you to download and peruse. There is a lot of information, particularly in the evidence brief. You don't have to read every page and every syllable. However, you might find it very interesting, and it's extremely educational, where it points out where the seal was stolen, how the seal was stolen, and so many other bits and pieces. So it's going to be a very good day tomorrow too. It's a picnic in the park, so bring your seat, bring your rug, bring a sandwich or bring a snag, and join us at midday. Magna Carta Park, just beside Old Parliament House. It's not going to be a long day by any stretch of the imagination. In fact, the formal part of it, I think, and it's what we're going to test this afternoon, but I think that presentation will only go maybe 20 to 30 minutes at the most. From then, you'll be able to sit around, join with us, have some conversations, and maybe do a little bit of networking, make some new friends. We always like making new friends around here, folks. We love to have you here. That's what I like to see, a prosecutor wandering across here. And I want to say, I know that prosecutor. I won't put the camera on him just now because prosecutors can be funny about things like that. But he's certainly taking a great deal of interest in us. And that's what we want. That's what we want. We just want them to know they are being watched at all times. And we aren't going to let them railroad a young man who spent his life savings putting together a truck that he brought to Canberra and drove, or was trying to drive, to the area police had directed him to. Bearing in mind it was the first time he'd ever been in Canberra. He was driving his vehicle, 10-tonne, at below walking pace, first gear low. In a truck is very slow. Walking pace is 3 times as fast as he was going. And yet, we have these convoluted, malicious charges against him, which the DPP have no hope of proving. And we look forward to the battle. So, yeah, look forward to seeing you here today at the Governor-General's. Obviously, it's a bit late for you to get here now to the Supreme Court, but we're off to the GG's after this, and then a little later on this afternoon, another live with Donna and Peter from the Corruption Whistleblower. We're staying on a property that's out of Canberra. We're not staying in Canberra. So that'll be later on this afternoon. And tonight, we might even have another little conversation. It will only be done off the phone, though. I've got a laptop issue. So I beg your pardon for that. And Vince, there's a bit of information for you. I haven't rung you and told you that yet. So, yeah, there's probably going to be a bit of work for Vince in uploading this to other places as well. So, all right, folks, I'm going to go and be part of the crew here now, doing a great job and keeping the awareness for Paul top of mind for these bunch of pricks over here. And yeah, we'll see you a little later on today. Enjoy whatever you're doing and make sure you don't run across those dickheads on the road.